Hello folks, this is Tom Martin. This is my lottery strategy game, Decoding the Powerball. I'm picking my numbers for the drawing on September 30th, 2017. Okay, so if you've never seen my videos before, I have 7 strategies with my game, Decoding the Powerball. So strategy number 1, the game card color code. Okay, so what you're looking at is what I call the game card. This represents all 69 white ball numbers in the Powerball lottery. I really don't have a thing for the Powerball itself. My goal is to get all 5 white balls correct and win the $2 million prize with the power play option. Okay, so basically how this works is when the 5 winning white balls come up, I put the numbers up here at the top of this list, okay? And then what I do is I transfer these last 3 drawings. You can see that they're in the red area here. I transfer these over to the game card as red numbers. Okay, so for this drawing, I have 15 red numbers. Okay, so I do the same thing with the orange numbers, the green, the blue, and the purple. Okay, so I have 5 different colors, one for each of the 5 white winning Powerball numbers. Okay, so over here to the far right, I keep track of how many color code drawings there's been. Okay, so far there's been 166, and out of this 166, 89 have been a 3-color combination, 63 have been a 4-color combination, 12 have been a 2-color combination, and 2 have been all 5 colors as a combination. Okay, so and never have just one color come up, like all red. Okay, so since hardly ever do all 5 colors come up, the strategy is to try to guess which one of these colors won't be coming up and eliminate it from the game card. Okay, so for this drawing, I'm going to guess that there'll be no red numbers. Okay, so this is what the game card looks like so far. Okay, so I'm off to the next strategy. Strategy number 2, the individual numbers. Okay, so what you're looking at is what I call the individual numbers. Okay, so up at the top is the master for all the numbers. Okay, and over to the far right is the numbers that just barely came up in the drawing. Okay, so the last winning numbers were 8, 10, 21, 23, and 25. Okay, and this 3 means that it hit 3 groups. Okay, so I'm going to reduce this down so you can see the whole card. Okay, so I want to point out that there's 7 groups here. Okay, so there's 69 numbers. So you can see group 1 is 1 through 9, and then it's the teens, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s. Okay, so the last drawing hit 3 groups. Okay, so there's 3 in the 20s here. Okay, so what I like to do is keep track of every 5 drawings. So this big square right here is good for 5 drawings. Excuse me. So when you look at this, you can see that it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so I'm at drawing number 3 right now, 3 out of 5. So what I like to do is go back in time and see how many hit in this 5 drawing square here. Okay, so this helps me to predict where there's not going to be a winning Powerball number. Okay, so the strategy is right now, since there's 7 groups, there's only 5 white winning Powerball numbers. So 2 of these groups won't be able to have a winning Powerball number to it. Okay, so try to guess which one of these groups won't have the winning Powerball number to it and eliminate it from the game card. Okay, so my guess for this drawing is that no 40 numbers will come up in this drawing. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the game card. Okay, so over here, no 40 numbers, okay, and no red numbers. So this is what the game card looks like so far. Okay, so it's off to the next strategy. Strategy number 3, the 50-50 picks. Okay, so what you're looking at is what I call the 50-50 picks. Okay, so again, there's 5 white winning numbers. Okay, so there's going to be a majority of either odd numbers or even numbers. Okay, so I like to keep track of that. So there's been 207 drawings so far. Okay, and that's since October 7th, 2015. That's when the Powerball lottery went from 59 numbers to 69 numbers. Okay, so out of that 207 drawings, 104 drawings have been the majority of odd numbers, and 103 have been the majority of even numbers. Okay, so as you look back through time here, uh, again, I like to keep track of every 5 drawings. Okay, for this reason, it gives me a majority of things. Okay, so this last 5, the majority was odd numbers. Okay, so you can see that it's gone on a pretty good run. Okay, of 6. Okay, so this is kind of the same thing as flipping a quarter and having it come up heads 6 times in a row. Okay, so pretty soon it's going to be tails. Okay, and for this next drawing, I think the majority will be even numbers. Okay, so I also keep track of the high numbers and low numbers. Okay, so this last drawing, all 5 numbers were all low numbers. Okay, so I think it's going to jump back to the high side. Okay, so again, I think there's going to be more even numbers than odd numbers, and I think there's going to be more high numbers than low numbers. Okay, so I also have keep track of left and right. Okay, so I think that the majority will be over to the left side. Okay, and I think the majority over here will be to the blue area. Okay, so I think there's going to be more numbers here in the blue than the red. Okay, so I do have one thing for the Powerball number itself. There's 26 red balls. Okay, so in this column right here, blue means that it's a low number, 1 through 13, and red is high, 14 to 26. And over in this column, this means red means odds and blue means even numbers. Okay, so you can see that it's gone on a pretty long run of high numbers. Okay, so for this drawing coming up, I'm going to guess that it's going to be a low number. Okay, and I think that this blue is going to double up as well, so I think it's going to be a low even number. Okay, so it's off to the next strategy. Actually, I'm going to go back to the game card here. Okay, and I wrote down my what I think is going to happen. Again, I think there's going to be more even numbers than odd numbers, more numbers to the high side than the low side, more numbers to the left side than the right side, and more numbers to that blue area than the red area. Okay, so it's off to the next strategy now. And that's strategy number 4. Picking the numbers I hope will miss from group 1. Okay, so what you're looking at is what I call my group 1 numbers. Okay, so basically I took all the numbers and I divided them into 4 groups and put colors to them. Okay, so when the Powerball drawing goes off, I keep track of where the 5 white numbers land. Okay, so for this last drawing, there was 2 numbers in the red area and there was 3 numbers in the blue area. Okay, so again, all 5 were in the low side of things. Okay, so there's no numbers in the high side, so there's no numbers in the orange area and no numbers in the green area. Okay, so I have 15 of these option cards. Okay, so the strategy is try to guess where this 0 is going to come up. Okay, and then eliminate those numbers off of the game card. Okay, so for this drawing here, I'm going to guess that no green numbers will come up here on option card number 9. Okay, and the reason why is because there's been a hit 21 drawings in a row here. Okay, so the record for all 15 of these option cards is 27. So when it gets up to the 20s, you know, it could go at any second here. So I'm just going to go with this green one. Okay, so I'm going to eliminate all these green numbers off of the game card. So I'll go back to the game card here. Okay, so this is group 1, option card 9. The green numbers are gone. Okay, so there's also no red numbers, no 40 numbers, and now there's no green numbers from option card number 9. Okay, so I'm going to go back to group 1. Okay, because the second one that I'm going to go with is option card 14. Okay, and the reason why is because this green. Oh, I'm sorry. It's the option card 13. Okay, and the reason why I'm going with this one here is because it had a couple of really long runs here, okay, of 13 and then 14. Okay, so basically what it does is it goes on usually short spurts of things, okay, after it has a couple long runs. Okay, so here it is. It went 2, 5, and now I just think it's going to go 2 and miss again. Okay, so I'm going to eliminate all these green numbers off of the game card. Okay, so this is what the game card looks like so far. I don't want to confuse you with these numbers here. Okay, so now it's off to the next strategy. Strategy number 5, picking the numbers I hope will miss from group 2. Okay, so what you're looking at is what I call my group 2 numbers. Okay, so just like group 1 where I divided things into 4 different groups, group 2 I divided the numbers into 8 different groups. Okay, so again, there's only 5 white winning Powerball numbers, so 3 of these groups won't be able to have a winning Powerball number to it. Okay, so the strategy is try to guess which one of these groups won't have the winning Powerball number to it and eliminate it from the game card. Okay, so basically how this works is, again, I like to keep track of every 5 drawings because I want to see the majority of things. Okay, so you can see that this is a 0 here, the first one. That means that none of the 5 white winning Powerball numbers landed in this red area here. Okay, and you can see the 2, and of course that means that 2 out of the 5 white winning Powerball numbers landed in this red area. Okay, so if there's 3 or more zeros, I color this blue for cold. If there's 3 or more hits, I color it red for hot. Okay, so I'm going to reduce this down so you can see the whole thing. Okay, and I have 15 of these option cards as well. Okay, so you can see what I wanted to show you here. Whoops, I'm sorry. Reduce this down a little bit here. Give it a second. Okay, so what I'm looking for is just the trends of red and blue here. Okay, so I'm looking at this yellow area, so you can see that it's been really hot. Okay, so now I just think it's going to cool off. All right, so I'm going to bring this back up. You can see how things look a little bit here. Okay, so I think that this is going to be a 0 right here. All right, so you can see that the last 5 drawings has been a hit here, so I just think it's due for a miss. Okay, so I'm going to eliminate all these yellow numbers off of the game card. Okay, so I'm also going to take number 1 yellow, number 2 yellow, and number 4 yellow off of the group 2. Okay, so this is what the game card looks like so far, and I'll show you the group 2 numbers as well. So it's 1 here, okay, the yellow, and I think that no yellow numbers will come up on option card 2 as well, and I don't think any numbers will come up on option card 4 in the yellow area as well. Okay, so let me go back to the game card here. Okay, so again, this is what the game card looks like so far. So hopefully I eliminated all the ones that won't be coming up. Okay, so I'm also going to go with option card number 10, the gray area, number 12, the gray area, and 14, the gray area, to miss as well. So I'll show you that as well. Okay, so these gray numbers here, and I'm going to reduce this down a little bit. Okay, so the gray side is right here. All right, so if you can see that, go down one more. Okay, so again, this is 12 here, so you can see that it's gotten really hot, and now I just think it's going to miss here. Okay, so, and here's number 10 right here. And again, I'm looking at the gray area, and I just think that it's been really hot, and now I think it's just going to turn. Okay, so again, I'm going to eliminate the 10, the 12, I believe it was the 14. I'll double check here. Yeah, and the 14. So this is what the gray numbers look here. It's a 17, 28, 21, 32, all the way around on all four corners there. Okay, and now it's 14, and I'll show you what that looks like. See, it got really hot here. Okay, hot again. Now this one has hit 5, and 3 is 8, and 2 more is 10. 10 drawings in a row, so I just think that it's due to miss. Okay, so I'm going to eliminate these gray numbers here. It's the 66, 24, the 8, the 12, 28, 41, 57, 37, and 69, and 53. Okay, so this is what the game card looks like so far. Okay, so I reduced all the numbers down to, there's 4 numbers here, 4 over here for 8, 4 more for 12, and 1 for 13. Now I have 13 numbers to choose from instead of 69 if I made all the correct guesses here are the ones that won't be coming up. Okay, so the next strategy, as I bring it up, is strategy number 6, picking the numbers I hope will hit for groups 1 and 2. Okay, but I'm just concentrating on group 2 for right now. Okay, so I'm going with option cards 3 yellow, 6 yellow, 7 blue, 8 gray, 13 yellow, 14 yellow, and 15 yellow. Okay, so I'm just going to go over the 3 and the 6. Well, I'm actually here now, so I'm going with the 13, 14, and 15 yellows here. Sometimes they hit in groups like that, so I'm just going to reduce this down a little bit. Okay, so you can see all 3 of them here. Okay, so you can see that, you know, it's been very sparse over here. This has been, you know, it kind of looks like 50-50. I just think that it's due to hit. Okay, over here you can see that the red has been really sparse. Okay, so I just think that it's due to heat up. And over here as well, I think that it's going to heat up as well. Okay, so that's why I'm going with those yellow numbers. Okay, so I'll bring them up so you can see the numbers I'll be going with. Okay, so I think that there's going to be something in these yellow numbers that will be coming up in the drawing tonight. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the game card. And I wrote down the numbers that have come up in like all these yellow numbers here. Okay, so you saw the 34 and 35 and the 30. So I wrote all those numbers down. So I think that within these numbers here are going to be the 5 winners. Okay. So what I do now is I go back to the color code. Okay, because what I want to point out is that the last drawing had a 4-color combination. Okay, so a 4-color combination hasn't come up in a little while, so I think it's going to repeat, like right here. Okay, so when I do pick my numbers, I want it to be a 4-color combination. Okay, so these are the numbers that I'm going with for this drawing. Okay, I'm going with the 1, the 7, the 34, the 35, and the 52. Okay, because these are all the numbers over here again. All right, so I had 2 7s come up. I only had 1, but it was all alone. Okay, the 34, I have 1, 2, 3 of them. The 35, I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and the 52, I have a couple of 52s. Okay, and that all works out to the 4-color combination as well. So again, for this drawing, I'm going to go with 1, 7, 34, 35, and 52. All right, folks, I'm always looking for people to play my game. So instead of charging a fee to play, I like to charge a commission for using my system, 1% if you get all 5 white balls correct. You can read the fine print, and if you're interested, you can email me at trm6776@gmail.com. All right, folks, I appreciate you watching, and best of luck with your picks.